So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Good evening, everyone. Underway here in Swift Current for the women's final of the RBC Dominion Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Silvana Tirinzoni facing off here against Seungyoun Ha. It is Ha with last rock as we begin play here in the first end. Or pardon me, it's Tirinzoni with last rock throwing the yellow stones. Sitting one on the top of the button right now as we're already underway. A little bit late at the start here, just because we had to wait for the sheet to get ready.
Well, Sean, that semifinal game was quite exciting at Van Amsterdam and Kleider going to extra ends.
And a measurement at that.
Two world-class teams here battling out for the RBC Dominion Securities title here with current #2 in the world, Silvana Tirinzoni, #6 in the world, Seungyoun Ha.
Chips off a little bit there, but might have stopped just in time. Tough to get the double on the reds. Hard to get under your own yellow, but boy, if that rolled a little bit farther, there would have been a double available on the two reds in the rings.
Yeah, the double right now would be quite thin, so I like this call.
Just the straight peel on the guard for now. I have to admit, I've seen Tirinzoni's play a couple times already this weekend. This is my first look at the Ha team. So if they're throwing out of the order that I've got on my roster, I'm going to be in trouble.
We can still play lane production for that, no matter what.
Okay, as long as we have that established, we're good. Tae Yang is the second. The lead is Sujin Kim. Apologies for any of the names that I mispronounced. Hyrin Kim is the third, and Seungyoun Ha, the skip, in the house. For the Tirinzoni team, one of the top teams in the world for the last boy, almost got to be almost a decade now.
Oh, for sure.
So most of the viewers probably very well familiar with them. Carol Howell throws the second stones. The lead on the right as we look at the screen, Selena Vichonki. Silvana Tirinzoni throws the third stones, but she skips the game, and Alina Petz on the left will throw the fourth stones.
Yeah, and this team from Switzerland, they've gotten to this final undefeated so far. 3 wins in pool play. Then they won their qualifier game, quarterfinal, semifinal, and now the final. So they've been on a roll here.
Makes the hit, rolls a little bit to the open. It does probably leave a double on the yellows. But if you make the double, you're going to cluster the reds and leave at least a double back. If you don't leave an opportunity for triple, you got to make sure the second one goes all the way out too. If you just pump it over into the open and leave a double or triple, as good as the situation looks right now, it could flip in a hurry. Not a lot of weight if she's thinking about the flat double.
Will it get all the way out? As you said?
No. Probably didn't leave a triple. She's got choices for doubles. Looking for the just off straight back, make the double, roll to the corner. You'll sit second and third, and then the problem for Ha becomes, how do we not leave a double for two? This might over curl, but if it does, she could get a double the other way. Nope. Stays in front of the reds, though.
Yeah, usable for sure. A little bit dangerous to hit that yellow stone right now. So that's why they're looking at hitting that other yellow stone, rolling it to the back of the button, maybe.
You still have to be careful where you leave the roll, too. The nose hit on the yellow right now that was just thrown will double those two reds in the forefoot. So you'd hate to roll this to a spot where you turn that into a triple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweeping for a little bit of curl here. They do have to hold the shooter for sure. They'll get the nose hit. I think nose is good there, actually.
Yeah, nose I think was just fine. I agree with you.
Because you make this run double. There's no chance it's going to be a triple. You're still, the red that was just thrown is still going to be second shot. I'd have been worried. You roll a foot and a half to the inside, and you might turn the double into a triple.
Yeah, or you roll it that maybe right behind. They make the double, but now they're sitting right on top of your red stone that's on the back of the button.
Tirinzoni looking to drive this yellow straight back. Gets the double and does. Roll over, and
I think she shot.
I think the yellow stayed for shot. But you can see what I mean, the path that yellow took going towards the corner. That red rolls any further, it's in the way. Now, she didn't have the weight to make the triple, but she doesn't have to move it very far to a set two. This is still a good spot for Ha.
Yeah, she's looking at hitting this, rolling towards the middle and fitting two.
Yeah. The key here is to roll far enough that she doesn't leave an easy double. And that's not easy. It'll be flat, but she's not going to be able to get more than about maybe 4 feet between the two of them if she rolls right to the center line. She starts rolling farther than that, she's probably also rolling deeper, and she might leave a double.
Yeah, both these teams on their third game today, but Seungyoun, their team's probably a little bit, maybe a little okay rested because they didn't go all the distance in the quarterfinals or the semifinals. So they haven't played that many ends, even though they are on their third game of the day.
They were on the brush on this right away.
Looks close.
It might have rolled far enough to leave. I mean, there's definitely angle to go after the double if you want to take a go at it. Alina Petz throws these as well as anybody. You're either playing the double or you're trying to roll over for shot behind your own. And I mean, if you try the double, you hit it a little thick and you just roll over in the neighborhood, there's still a chance there's a double on your last one.
You get the double back, yeah, you can control that roll, whether you can stop it behind the guard or go a little bit further and group it with the other red stones. So that'll be up to Silvana to call. Once she sees the release and hears the weight call from her sweeper, she's got to make that judgment call, what she's going to do with this.
That ice, I think they're going for the big roll.
Absolutely.
Doesn't have to get the second one out either. You move it, she's coming in from the side of it a little bit. You move it about 6 inches.
Yeah, 6 inches, your shot for sure.
She's looking at the split now, too. You could split that and sit 2 as well.
Yeah, not a bad call. Lots of options here. Lena's one of the best in these bigger weight shots, so I'm not surprised they've gone to this. If it was Silvana throwing, maybe she would have been tempted to play that split.
Well, they just get the nose hit. And really, it's the red stone at the back of the 8-foot that's still shot rock. There's still a problem in that no matter how you hit this, unless you're dead buried, it's tough to not leave a shot for the double. And if you hit it right on the nose, she probably doesn't even have to play the double. She could just hit the one at the back. You've got to get a roll to be second shot.
Yep, you got to roll in here. As you said, there's lots of room to roll, but you have to be pretty precise to not leave a double. Probably got a 1.5 foot area that she can roll to without leaving that double.
Hasn't thrown a lot of weight here, starting to curl. You don't want to roll big here.
You got to roll a bit big, I think. The double's definitely on. Well, this is pretty automatic.
Yeah, that's a hard double to miss. I don't even think there's room. No, I don't think she's going to whip it anyway, but I don't think you could even squirt between those and keep going. They're just a little too close together. You could hit either one first. With that room, it looks like they're actually going to hit the one that was just thrown, the deeper one first, come into the side of the other stone. Again, it only has to move a couple of inches.
Yeah, just one little half shot there, and all of a sudden, 2 points in play. But the 2 was always in play if you got the half shot, but you needed the miss, or the half miss there, and they got it right at the end.
Cleaning early. Still cleaning now, sweeping for a curl. Is there room to squirt between them? There is. Wow, she makes the double, but shooter keeps on going through the back, and it's just a single point for Tirinzoni here in the first end. Ha dodges a bit of a bullet. She'll have last rock in the second.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September. The Tour Challenge from Nisku this October. The Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December. And the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
Well, a little bit back and forth there in that opening end, and it was a shot for two, but squirts through after making the double, and Tirinzoni just takes the single point in the first end. Ha with last rock as we begin play here in the second. Got the center guard up with the first one, but it's not touching the center line. Just gets by on the come around. Will come to rest fully in the 8-foot shot rock. Ha's going to go around the corner guard.
A good sweep there.
Got a nice line if they can get it deep enough. Actually, it's going to come up just short of the ring, so it acts as a second corner guard. Close enough to split as well.
Yeah, it can be very dangerous, those rocks that are close to the rings. You have to worry about the split if you don't have the hammer, and the hammer team's got one that close.
Yeah, this isn't the prototypical guard situation, but it's kind of come about by you got to do something to make Ha play in the middle. And then when she's doing that, you're probably going to try to clean up that corner yourself if you're Tirinzoni.
Yeah, of course, they can't do anything with the corners right now, at least
No.
not remove them, because it is a 5 rock 3 guard zone rule. At some point, they could actually play a soft weight hit on that tight red stone and roll it in towards the center, roll their own stone in.
Don't know if they wanted to be that tight. That might have left a triple on the yellows.
Yeah, you can leave another corner guard, too. Of course, this Tirinzoni team, of course, gearing up, preparing for the Milan Cortina Olympics. They will be representing Switzerland once again, trying to win a medal. Of course, they were just on the outside looking in last time. The Koreans will be represented by Kim Eun-ji, so not this team. Those Koreans, so many great women's curling teams right now.
Gets two, leaves the shot stone in the 8-foot, but gets the guards off the center line. Now, as you suggested, Jason, chance for Silvana to make a play on the corners, and her first thought is to hit the tight one and try to roll into the rings. There's a double peel available too, but you've got to squirt it probably all the way over the top and across the house. There's also a yellow out there that it's going in that direction. You'd hate to make the double peel and then jam out there and leave it for a biter.
Yeah, for sure. Well, considering I suggested this shot, I do like it.
Makes the hit, comes across, does nudge your own stone over. Tirinzoni sitting 2. Not real great angle for any kind of double. And it's a long roll to get back behind the corner.
It is a long roll, but I think you got to start somewhere. Even if you get part way there, maybe you take a couple of attempts at it.
Yeah, the only other shot I see is you hit the wide yellow and roll behind this one. She's been off and on. You have to think that means she's close. Pull a little bit past the guard. Does it get a big spin at the end? No, but it's still got a sliver underneath.
It's not bad at all.
No. Tirinzoni won't likely be able to roll in off this. Mind you, she's probably okay with a nose hit on this. Then anything around the corner guard, you might be able to use this stone to get it out. Not a lot of weight here. I don't know if she's got enough to get it out. She doesn't. But she sits 2 and the shooter is buried. That looks like it has them surprised too. At no point did they said it was light, but I don't think at any point did they think it wasn't going to be enough weight to kill that stone.
Yeah, but a very good result nonetheless. Got the roll behind. Maybe as a consequence of the fact that the weight was a little bit light.
Yeah, it leaves the corner freeze, or actually in this case they're going to try the straight back, and it is their own guard. So if you absolutely stuff the run back, you're sitting second and third with second being buried.
Have gotten so good at making these run backs and sticking it behind their own shooter. Not one rolls out though.
Yeah, I think it's still in play though. They're not removing it, and I didn't see it bounce off the wall, so I think it stopped just in time. And that does still in the eye as you try to make this hit on the red stone. Shouldn't be a factor, but you can see it there.
Yeah, a lot of stones snuggled up against the sideboard in this end.
Yeah. Silvana looks like she's questioning this a little bit. I have to think if she's questioning anything, it's just got to be how heavy is it out here, because I don't think she thought she was light on the last one. Nobody did.
It was definitely a surprise. Now, if it was just a little extra pebble on the ice, the first sweep would have gotten some of that off, and the second rock down should be a little bit nicer. She's probably throwing a bit harder. She wants to stick around back here.
She threw a lot more weight at that one, yeah.
Yeah, in that case, she didn't want to roll behind the guard, because if they did, Team Pod, they'd come down with the freeze behind the corner. That's why they wanted to roll it right open. Good shot there from Silvana.
Seungyoun looking for the hit and roll over on top of that yellow stone that was just thrown. Quiet wait so they can hit a little thinner, roll a little deeper.
Get a lower roll.
Yeah, get closer to that yellow stone. It's one thing to be in front of it. It's another thing to be close enough to it that it's hard to clear it. She'll get the hit and it rolls over a few inches, but not enough to stay in front of, to get in front of that Yellowstone. It's still a nose hit. In fact, there's room for Alina Petz, if she chooses, to roll back to the outside.
Yeah, and if she can get anywhere to the outside, I'm going to guess that Team Ha, they're going to take their 1 point and not risk any double and blank. If they happen to roll slightly to the inside, though, they may take on the double and blank.
She's got to be careful about not rolling too far to the outside. If she rolls too far to the outside, they may simply, knowing that they're going to get forced here at least, they might just try to come around their corner guard. I think you could come around that corner guard and be shot over the one at the back.
Yes, you can still be in the 8 foot for sure. So they do want to keep this in the 8 foot, and that's a good shot. They've nosed it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try that hidden roll again.
I'm not convinced if you roll all the way across to get buried, because you're going to be so deep, I'm not sure you're going to be shot rock.
Yeah, I think you're going to be forced if you do that, quite honestly.
Unless she's planning to throw weight, try to get a flat roll. She's not taking a lot of ice. You know, if you're willing to throw the weight to get the flat roll, it's not the worst call in the world. I mean, you give it a go. If you don't get it, you were probably forced anyway.
Yeah, this is certainly a play to still try to get 2 out of this situation. If you were hoping that maybe a blank was still in play, you'd just roll in front of that Yellowstone. You can get a double on your last stone and roll out. Then a bit of fight again on this outturn side.
Okay, Jason, what's perfect now? Are you trying to roll in, or do you nose hit that?
I just like nosing it. Maybe you could roll it in a couple inches, but I don't think any further than that is necessary.
So you'd rather have her drawing?
I think I'd rather have her draw, but if you can roll in a couple inches, you might take away the backing.
Yeah, I don't think you can take away the backing on this ice. The only way you take away the backing is you roll to where I think she's going to hit it.
Well, she's rolled pretty far here.
Yeah, they were sweeping for curl. That's not what they had in mind.
Well, I think the double and blank is there with this off the back of the stone.
It is. Not a ton of room between them. You have to make sure you absolutely have to make sure if you're playing this that you hit the second rock. But I think you got to be really thin to miss the second rock. Like half a rock to me looks like you're getting one.
Yes. Just because how close those two stones are.
Yeah.
If those were further apart, then you'd have to hit it quite a bit thicker. But because they're so close, that shooter wouldn't have had as much distance to angle southward or downward. So
a quarter's probably close. Final stone on its way here in the second end. Seungyoun Ha, a chance to play for the blank. needs to double and roll out, and they were on the brush right away. She's got to be really thin on the first one. She's going to hit that almost on the nose, rolls across, and she will pick up her single point. We're all tied up now after 2 ends of play. Silvana Tirinzoni will have last rock back for the third.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Tied up here as we begin the third end of the final in the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. We are live in Swift Current. My name's Sean Joyce, Jason Chang joining me, Connor Sims on production. Silvana Tirinzoni continues to look just a little confused about the ice here. Maybe not quite the same as their semi-final game was. They've had a couple of miscues, but still tied up. They've got last rock. They had a chance for 2 in the first. That didn't go well for them. Silvana had a shot last end playing a hit that almost didn't have enough weight. Was that last end? I'm getting confused now. Threw a hit herself that didn't get the rock all the way through the rings. And then Alina Petz, even with her final stone, they were trying for a nose hit. It rolled all the way across and very nearly left a double for the blank. But they still got their force. Tied 1 apiece as we begin play here in the third. And rocks in play once again. The center guard to start things off. The come around. And now the chase, looking for the freeze.
Line looks pretty good here.
Yep. Follow the leader, Selena Vichonki. I guess she was actually the leader. Sujin Kim followed her down, and now she's trying to put the third one in that line in the forefoot. Oh, that's really well done.
Great series of shots there so far by the leads.
Let's see at least one more put on this line, and then there might be a decision for Tirinzoni. Third end, she's got last rock. She's okay with a blank here. This is the 5th stone of the end. She can start moving guards after this. This might be a little strong, though. Does it bounce off?
Yeah, you're going to get some separation now. And I think this favors Tirinzoni. Even though they've lost shot stone, those red ones now, very vulnerable.
Yeah, they did leave the yellow-red lined up to go to the yellow that stayed at the back of the 8-foot. I still think she might peel the guard. Alina Petz wants to see the angles. I'm not sure how she thinks she's doing that. I don't see either of the yellows crossing the center line going to the other side.
No, neither do I.
You can't get your shooter to the inside, and you can't hit the first one thin enough to roll it over that direction.
Yeah, I was thinking, why don't you just play that hit and roll and flop on top, have two yellows stacked on top of that red stone. I know it drives into the back yellow, but you can make a couple of plays at it, and then you'll be in a good spot.
I think just from the hand positions on the room, I think they're still playing the peel on the center guard.
Yep,
I think that's what I'd be playing here. You got to keep in mind it's the third end too, so getting back to a blank is not a bad situation for Tirinzoni.
Yeah, I like this call.
Now put your other hat on. If I'm Seungyoun Ha, if they just peeled that guard, that means they don't like it. Put it back. Coming into the rings just makes it easier for Tirinzoni to get back to a blank situation. Yeah, I think I'd be guarding here all day. They're going to play the hit on the yellow, drives the red back and kills that yellow at the back of the 8-foot. The question is, what are the angles going to be like at the top after you do this? Straight back double almost looks like it leaves. Might leave Tirinzoni sitting too. She's wondering about the triple. Might be there. I think the second red probably clears the yellow. You could get directly to the shot stone as well if you wanted to. The yellow at the side of the 8-foot is second shot. Playing the double at the top and hoping it clips the back of the 4-foot on the way by. Gets one, gets two. The shooter actually spun up a little bit off the second red one, so she's got some separation there. It's Tirinzoni sitting one. Probably room to drive that yellow by and get the double.
Yeah, you can see it. Not easy.
I think you have to make sure you make contact with something. I mean, even if you drive this onto the red, I don't think there's any chance you're ever catching it thick enough to leave the yellow in play. But if you hit this slightly on the board side and drive the first yellow by the second yellow altogether, you're going to leave staggered reds in front of it. She's going to split the rings, and you're going to have a hard time not giving up two. have to make sure 2 rocks move here. The double, definitely there. But the miss is over curl and move that other red stone.
Close. You got it, I think. Nice shot.
One more look at it. Nice release, just maybe a little pop, which is the way a lot of these players throw it. Inside brusher was down early. They were back and forth whether they needed to curl or not. Comes up just perfect. Does leave the slash double for Tirinzoni. Not sure if she can make the double and hold her shooter here. But she makes the 2 reds go away. We're back to a potential blank.
Nicely done. And this was always the problem when Team Ha decided to make a play on the rocks in the house. We thought the blank was on, and sure enough, it's definitely on.
Yeah. And again, these teams at this level also conscious of even and odd ends right from the start of the game. So this will be a comfortable situation for the Tirinzoni team, and maybe that will help them, because it does look like they've been a little confused about a couple of spots on the ice so far in this game. They've had a couple of misses that, I don't know, Silvana herself looks like she's questioning a couple of things. I don't think they thought they were in any danger of wiggling through in the first end. She had her hit in the second end that didn't have enough weight to kill the stone. And then even the last shot last end, they were trying for nose hit, rolled all the way across the house, almost rolled out. So just get to play a few open shots here. Get a little bit more confidence that you know what the ice is doing. Get the hammer in the even end. That redstone that is just barely in play on the right as we look at the house, left from the overhead, far enough out that even if something were to jam on it, it's not going to be in the rings.
Yeah, you need a couple of jams over there. Unlikely to happen.
There's a far better chance somebody's going to trip over it than you're going to get the 2 jams that you need to get it back into the house.
I'm taking a quick look at the other final, the men's final between Bruce Mowat and Riley Kleider. Kleider stole points in the first and the second end to take a 2-0 lead. And they're sitting pretty good in the third end as well. They've got Bruce in quite a lot of trouble. So quite a different complexion. This end has gotten open after a few rocks in play, with 3 rocks straddling the button in the Mowat-Kleider game.
Not using time clocks here at Swift Current. It's been I've had a few people ask me if they use them for the Bonspiels. It's pretty taxing to try to have enough volunteers to run clocks on 6 sheets for 5 draws a day for a Bonspiel. But here, even without clocks in play, Alina Petz made her way down to the far end, and we used to call this banking time when the clock was actually running, but she did that one just for the sake of moving this game along.
Yeah, unusual to see time clocks in tour events here in North America, but if you go over to Asia, and for sure in Japan, they often do use time clocks for their Bonspiels. Even league games. I played some league games in Japan when I was there for a couple of months, and when you weren't playing, the other team, the other draw would be time clocking for you. So that was kind of an experience.
Sweeping for curl early, does want to stick around here. Now trying to straighten it out. Well, we'll get rid of that little backline biter just for good measure, and now it's an open house, just the one stone in play, and Lena Petz will look to make the hit, roll out, try to get the blank end here, and retain last rock into the fourth. Out of her hand, and one brusher down right away. Needs to hold this straight enough to roll out. She's got the hit. Even with that big weight, though, it's not going to be enough to roll out right on the beak. So that's another single point. In this case that they didn't want. Tirinzoni with a 2-1 lead. Again, she looks like she's a little befuddled about this ice. It'll be Ha with last rock in the fourth.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Fourth end underway here, and Jason, Tirinzoni's got the 2-1 lead, but they do not look comfortable out there so far.
Yeah, a couple of opportunities squandered at first end. They had a chance in for 2 points. They couldn't convert there. It was easy blank. Couldn't convert that blank either, and kind of got a miss in the second end to only to generate the force, but really the blank was on for Team Han the second. So yeah, a little bit uncomfortable. Looks like they're out there, but it has been a long day. This is their third game. Let's see if they can settle down here and get a few extra shots. But I think Team Ha was a little bit lucky there to not to get the force, the unexpected force, because as we were talking about that end, I think they went into the rings 1-2 early in terms of at least one rock too early. Should have been guarding and actually forced the force.
Yeah, I know, I agree. Looking for the come around here to try to freeze to shot stone. Both brushers working hard on this one, and Seungyoun Ha out to join them. Got to be careful. That stone is still on the center line. She actually nudged it, spun off of it, but I don't think the yellow one actually moved.
No, it just kind of glid off of it almost.
It was almost like it was stuck to the ice, and the red was just coming to a stop and just geared off. It really didn't tap it at all. Still touching the center line. That's all that matters. It's also overlapped, which helps Tirinzoni a little bit here. It's got nice weight if they can get it by. They do.
That looks good.
right down on top of their own stone. Sits 2, and that was the 5th stone of the end. The overlap at the center line is not good for Haas, so she's going to have to play the peel.
Yeah, might be able to get that red stone, the red guard, coming into the other red guard on the corner and maybe spin in.
Yeah, I think it's going into it for sure. That's the question. Is it going in?
If it goes in, you could leave the shooter as a corner guard guarding that stone.
Yeah. Even if you just stuff it over there, like if you hit and roll over there and then stuff it over there, that would give you a double corner. But it's hard to tell from this angle whether or not it gets to the back end of that red and spins in or not. It's got to be close. Like you're so thin on the overlap, it's they're not throwing big weight at this. They want to try to keep 2 reds around.
Might even keep all 3 around, depending on how this comes off.
Yeah, they hit that a little too thin.
Yeah.
Does get rid of the overlap, and if Tirinzoni's going to guard the 2 yellows, and I presume that she will, that red at the top of the top of the house is available for a run back, and that's what she's worried about.
Yeah, you can run it back.
And there's just enough of an angle when you run it back, you can actually make the double. If you had to run something straight back, it would be hard to kill both yellows.
They have decided to play the guard.
Well, they decided to play the guard, but they have to convince the guard to slow down.
Definitely slipping in. Oh, no, maybe not. I thought it was slipping in for sure.
Well, now do you try to get all 3 of them? Or with that yellow as tight as it is, I think you can come off the center line side of it and catch the back end of the other red, end up in the rings, and then hard for Tirinzoni to play another guard. She's going to take the run at the triple. Don't have to get all 3 of them to go away, but you certainly want to get them off the top of that 4-foot area.
Yeah, I don't think that second yellow is going to get out of the rings with this angle. Well, they might end up with the call that you were thinking. Oh, no, they did hold the line enough, but that yellow stone just squirts behind the other red guard. Good news is it's behind a red guard now and not a yellow guard.
Looks like they're worried about the run back on the red, and you can understand it, right, Jason? She's got, if you run that red back, because there's another red on the other side of center, and then there's the tight red corner guard, she's got 2 ways she could actually roll behind cover on one of her own.
Yeah, and there's no way to really block both of those with a guard, and there's no real way to block both of those by coming in unless you come close to your own yellow, but that might make it easier to make a run double. So by coming off this corner guard and rolling in, you can leave some more separation between your 2 yellows in the house and guard both run backs, perhaps.
It actually might be easier to get to that line, too. I think this is the straighter side of the sheet. If you want to bury on that red stone just off the center line, it might be easier to get there with the hit and roll than it would be with the draw, considering that you have to stay in front of your own stone. Even half a round is pretty good. You get the hit and roll to half buried. It takes away the straight back anyway. If you ever roll to split center, does that take away both run backs?
Oh, I think so.
So then she'd have to run it over the top and try to double the 2 yellows. I mean, it could be made, but at least that means you're not in any danger of giving up a deuce. It's the run back, stick it behind cover that's really got them worried, and that's why they're playing this corner guard off and roll in.
Yeah, and this is where you have so much respect at the elite level for your opponents, the types of shots they can make. I mean, at a club level, this wouldn't be the shot you'd be thinking about playing here. You'd be just thinking about drawing another one in. But because they're so good with the run back.
Oh, gets that little bit of spin back at the end, and I do think she took away both run backs.
Yeah, you have to play a run double now.
Yeah. You might be able to play it. So here's the thing. If you play it on the one on the Westland side of the center line, not the insurance side, you could maybe stick it playing the double. The problem is if you play that one and you don't get the double, shot rock's still buried.
Yeah, you haven't opened it up. That's why they're looking at this rock that they're pointing at now, because at the very least, they would open up a play on shot stone.
To make the double, I think you got to slash it far enough across the face of the yellow that you're probably losing the raised stone. If you hit the first one a little thick and dead stuff it on the second one, roll away, that's still interesting. What they did.
Yep. And that's pretty good. If you guard now, you have a run back on the red corner to get two. So I don't think they'll be guarding here. I think they're going to...
You come around, the run back on the stone and the 12-foot to either one of them is just too easy. You could hit the red and the 12-foot, roll behind the corner, but then they've got a direct path to shot rock and try to roll buried under one of their own stones. Elena Petz's idea is nice if you can do it. It's tough to hit that rock in a manner to keep your shooter that close to the center line.
Yeah, very risky to play that.
Yeah, you could get away with just touching the yellow on the way by, but you don't want to lose it. You sure don't want to jam it. They haven't even discussed this as an option. I'm not saying I'd play it, but you could hit the corner guard and roll to a center guard and cover the... You take away her angle run in as well as guard your shot stone.
Yeah, that is an option for sure. Not a bad option, actually.
Well, it's the only way to get multiple... Like, you're trying to get more than one thing out of a shot here, and it's just hard to do that any other way. It's not exactly what I'd call a conventional call, but it's not a bad call in this situation. Neither is this. It's just this is a tougher shot. And it's already starting to curl. Well, seems to be holding now. Yeah, she's still going to roll too far, though. It makes the red go away, but it does leave this opportunity to hit and roll behind cover. Honestly, to be safe, that's probably the best you could do with that attempt.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, jamming it wouldn't have been very good at all.
No.
And even if they made that little mini roll, the double and roll might still have been there. So
yeah, true.
If you were trying to be perfect, I think the shot that you suggested was probably the best call if you think you could make it. But that's the calculation in curling you have to make, right? You've got to bunch of different options. Some of them have a better outcome than others, but what are the chances you make each of those options?
And what does it leave for your opposition? In this case, it's left the hit and roll behind cover, but she might be a little thin. Rolls out of play. Well, now Alina Pet's a chance to come around, and this might be a situation where you want to come around, but you don't want to be dead perfectly around. Because it's your opposition rock, and if you dead bury this, she's going to try to run it straight back, and she could get her deuce if she makes it. Give her any angle at all. If she has to play the run back, you've probably got a hit for your last one.
Yeah, so try to give her a piece on the outside here.
Should start to move now. There it goes. Still got lots of room coming by. They'll try to bring this as far back as they can now. Bury a good piece of it. Gets a little spin at the end. Didn't bury very much, but it's enough that I don't think she can get the roll in off of it. You could play the run. You could try to roll the shooter with the guard or with the run stone and bury it that way. They talked about trying to roll it all the way across too. That's probably tougher.
Yeah, that's a pretty long roll. I'd be tempted to roll it with the shooter if you're trying this. I mean, this is really the only...
Yeah, which is really hard. I mean, it's hard to call that, but
this is really the only good way, I guess, to generate 2 points. You don't have a lot of... If you just hit that, you can't get the roll behind cover. If you try to draw, the yellow will go right back into anything you draw behind cover there. Going around the corner probably doesn't help you now. And at the very least, even if you just peel off the guard, you should have an open shot to get your single point.
yeah, it'll be an open shot. Remains to be seen just how easy the open shot will be. Pets taps it up. I guess you're always going to have full forefoot. It's far enough off the center line. She can't get anything better than just full forefoot buried. If you get ever so slightly across the face, he just needs to roll a couple of inches. That should be about the right angle. This is close. Yeah, it's going to be a little thin on the second one. The shooter will, or the run back stone will roll out.
Yeah, needed that shooter to curl a little bit more.
Well, for Lena Petz, she had good line on the last one. You get the same line and about 2 feet more weight, you'll be half in behind cover at least, and in the forefoot.
Yeah, you'll be fully in the four, and they'll probably force a draw to the button. And that might be a tricky shot. I mean, the skips actually haven't thrown a lot of draws to the button so far this game.
This looks like it's got more line. Still starts to break at the same point. Weight looks a little better. They will bring it right down full four and almost grabs a bite of the button, and it is better than half buried. So she's going to have to play the cold draw to the button. It's really all Alina Petz could do.
Yeah, pretty much perfect from Alina. Not sure you could have put that in a much better spot than right there.
Maybe 2 inches more curl, but now we're nitpicking.
Now you're being the tough one. You said
Yeah,
I was the tough one earlier this morning.
I'm still giving her 4 on that one. That's the only thing you could have done better is if it curls just a hair more. They had to wait, and they did. The brushers did a great job. They waited till it reached the break point, and they brought it in as far as they could. They're still in the full front 4. Seungyoun facing 2 here. Shot rock full 4-foot just off the button. She's drawing for her single. She's got hands up. She might think it's a little heavy. Brushers are staying close. It's curling like the weight's good. They've backed away now. It's into the 12-foot, into the 8. The 4. Puts it right on the pin. Will pick up her single point here in the 4th, and we are tied once again. Silvana Tirinzoni had last rock when we started the game. She'll have it again in the 5th.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
I have an idea.
Center guard thrown up to start this 5th end. The come around you see at the top of the 8-foot now. The game of follow the leader that we've seen several times in this game. Sujin Kim looking to come down and freeze to the face of that stone in the 8-foot.
A clutch draw there in the last stone by the Korean skip, Seungyoun. I was saying the skips haven't been throwing a lot of draws, and she did nail it right on the pin.
Oh, just not able to get by on that come around attempt. Will rub off, and maybe the extra poison pill on that one also spins it into the rings, so Tirinzoni can make a play on it now. If that stays out front, at least she can't hit it. Chance for Selena now to make the hit and roll to the open side. Early advantage here in this 5th end to Tirinzoni then. Chance to sit too early.
Losing the line here a bit.
Chance to sit too early, but that chance missed once again. They roll out.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I think
Korean team.
It's
Sorry.
a blank again.
That's right, and I'm not sure they want a blank here if you're the Korean team.
No, they don't for sure.
I was suggesting maybe they played the freeze to try to prevent the blank.
That's what I thought. This is kind of what we saw in the third end, where they started worrying about rocks in the house a little too early. And Tirinzoni did get the chance for the blank in the third. Nose hit a rock that I don't think you'd expect them to miss that one very often. And left that one in the ring, so now it's set up a chance to get a big split on the house, and you're back to a possible 2. And again, Silvana Tirinzoni shaking her head. She's questioning the ice, maybe the house. That did look like when they hit it, it should have been hard enough to go all the way through. Maybe the house not quite as lively as they're used to today either.
Yeah, all very possible here. Well, now with this setup, Silvana is probably going to try to go for her 2 now. These yellow stones are going to be very, very separated here. If she can hit and stick, she makes them even more separated.
Yeah, she's not going to get ultra aggressive for her 2, but you're going to keep the house separated and force Seungyoun Ha to make something good to force you to blank. She's got a little bit of work to do if she's going to get the yellow rocks grouped. Needs a long roll here.
Yeah, good news is they're still only on second stone, so they've got quite a number of rocks to work with to get these groups together. This is going to start the process.
Deep enough already that, if that's a rock's width higher, you might see Tirinzoni try to roll behind the guard, but when it's behind the tee line, I think she's going to roll to the open side for sure. And now she gets a little deeper, and it makes it harder still for Ha to ever get a double opportunity. Howled with the hit. She will roll over into the 12-foot.
Nicely done.
Well, that's a great shot. To roll back to the other side of the guard, which you kind of need to do if you're going to get back to a chance to group those stones. You run the risk of rolling right out when you're that far back. Oh, what a great shot.
Excellent roll.
Gets that hit, rolls all the way across. Look at the smiles on the brushers. They know how big that shot was. Gets them back to a chance here to play a double somewhere along the line. Had to throw a little bit more weight because she's trying for such a long, flat roll. And I think this is end dictated. If we were in the 6th, I think Silvana comes around.
I agree with you. 5th end, an odd end. The blank is still in play here.
Yeah, even if she makes the double, the blank's in play. The concern is it's hard to make this double or this hit without leaving the double. But if you come around and something goes wrong, you could get forced again. Blank's an acceptable result here. Well, that's pretty good. She's made it as tough as she could.
Very nice roll.
Do you freeze the back one?
I think you might have to. I think that double might just be a little bit too tough to not play a draw or freeze the back one. There's motioning, maybe just push it through.
Well, because if you ever hit the other one to roll over, I'm not sure you're even second shot or shot rock. I don't think you can get shot rolling off the other one.
No, I don't think so. I think you got to almost freeze here. If you push it back, Silvana can come in and push it back again and sit 2.
Iron Kim throws the third stones for the Ha team and looking to come down to that stone at the back of the 12-foot. Lock it right on the face or perhaps tap it back a little. Right about there is where it should start to curl. There it goes. She's got the weight to get all the way down to it. I don't know if she's going to get that close to the face, though. It's going to bounce off a little. She does stay for shot.
That's important.
Yeah, it is, because the problem that creates for Tirinzoni is she hits that, she's starting to leave a wall back there. If you think the blank is gone, and I think it is, because I don't know that she's going to hit. Well, she might. If I'm drawing, I'm not drawing there.
No, I wouldn't be drawing there if I was playing the draw.
I'm coming around the center from the other side. If I leave half of it, there's the chance she jams it onto that one.
Might jam it, exactly. Leave it half open.
If you're hitting that red stone, where do you have to roll to not leave a triple? I don't know if there's a spot you can.
I'm not sure you can prevent the triple, honestly, by hitting. Yeah. I mean, you either make the decision, you play the hit, hope, and if they make the triple, you got the blank, or... The thing is, Tirinzoni does have 3 stones left. So, to your point, you could go around the center guard now, maybe get a mistake. You may be able to play that red stone later in the end and get a big score on the board. Or just use your next 3 stones to try to get your deuce. Don't worry about those yellows at the back.
Well, you said don't worry about the yellows. I was just going to say, don't even worry about odd versus even end. In a game where nobody scored a deuce yet, a deuce at any time could be huge. So she's going to make a play on that red. It looks like they're trying to roll to the outside. Maybe trying to roll just right beside the other one, so the only thing she's got is the pocket double. Don't think it's rolling far enough for that.
Yeah, no, it's just tapping it back and sitting right there.
Well, the triple's definitely there. It's actually decently thin, too. You hit, I think if you hit half a rock on the first one, you might go over the top of the one that's just biting.
Yeah, I'd be curious if they made the triple and lost the shooter, what Silvana will do, whether they will just peel the guard and go for the blank or draw around that center guard.
That's interesting, because yeah, you could very easily. First of the skip stones here in end number 5 of a tie game. Ha looking for the triple, and they're on the brush right away now, backed off. She's thin. She needs to be thin. Makes the hit. Oh, stuffed the first one a little bit, but as you said, the shooter carries through it. It's out of play.
Yeah, and it looks like Silvana had a plan. Just caught it a hair too thin.
Yeah. They jumped the brush a little early. And as it's coming in, no movement there. Only hit about 1/8 of a rock.
Good thing those rocks were close to the back of the rings. Didn't need to move very far.
Yeah, they had to sweep the jamstone to get it all the way out.
But Silvana had no hesitation playing this PL. She knew what she wanted to do here if those rocks all flew away.
This is interesting. No hesitation. Didn't even really think about it. She's going to put it at the top of the forefoot. I have to tell you, if this is me, I'm throwing this rock right back to the same spot where she nose hit it in the third.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Everybody will tell you on a shot like that, she puts it out of her mind. I'm going to here to tell you that's garbage. People are human. You put this back in the same spot, and she will be thinking about it. Now, you expect her still to throw it better than she threw that one, but the Tirinzoni team has been shaking their head a few times in this game, so anytime you can put some more doubt into their mind, that's what I'd be doing. They're going to have to work on this just to get rings. That might make the blank a little easier. Nose hit'll do it.
Yeah, you could hit it right on the nose to make the blank, or just the traditional way, just half a rock, make it all go away.
Just don't hit 3/4 and roll in.
Well, this blank could be a big moment in this game. Teams have struggled to actually put up blanks so far when they wanted it.
Okay, it's been a long day, but didn't she just throw the in-turn down the same spot to peel the guard?
She did.
So why are you changing turns?
Because she's so good.
Oh, they wanted to get that little biter off the back just so they didn't have to carry it all the way to the back corner, I guess. Put a blank on the board here in the 5th. We're still tied 2 apiece, and Tirinzoni will have last rock once again in the 6th.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsocktickets.com. Let's rock!
Well, a slightly different start here to this sixth end. Tirinzoni with last rock. In the even ends. Prepared to maybe try to get her deuce here. Instead of coming around the center guard, she throws the corner.
Yeah, and it is the sixth end, not the seventh end, as the graphic shows.
Oh, nice try, Connor. He's just trying to get off earlier. He was worried in the semifinal, and I was talking about 2 extra ends. And it was a measurement away. They chipped the guard. It is their own guard. They could remove it from the center line. It's hard to tell from the glare on the ice whether they did or not, but it still leaves them 2 guards out in front of the 4-foot. Tirinzoni's going to come around the corner guard now.
Yeah, time to put on some offense here for Team Tirinzoni.
Yeah. Early advantage in a lot of these ends has belonged to Tirinzoni, but the ends haven't necessarily stayed that way. The Ha team has been resilient, if nothing else.
Yeah, a combination of some good shots from the Ha team. The last time they made a bunch of good hit and rolls to end up setting up that blank. Earlier in the game, maybe a couple of miscues from Team Tirinzoni.
Wow, good come around there. You would have thought to get that far buried, she would have had to have been deeper in the house.
But we have noticed throughout the week a little bit more curl from the center line going outward.
Definitely. So Ha having to put the broom very wide here to try to come around the wider of the 2 guards. This guard's just covering the edge of the 4-foot. Wouldn't have been too many draws out here. There's probably been some hits out here. So the pebble should be broken down a little bit. Nice line coming by. Trying to bring it back as far as they can now, and they will pull that into the side of the 4-foot. Haas hit shot, but that was the 5th stone of the end, and the peels can start now. You can see Tirinzoni lining up. Can you make the peel come off the back end of the second one and possibly into the rings?
Yeah, certainly think you can. It's almost the only way you can play that double peel, because if you hit it the natural way, that first red stone, the one on the center line, may jam onto your rock that's behind the corner.
True, yeah. Gets the hit, misses the second one. The shooter comes over and takes out the yellow, but then spins up again, so it's still a good half buried. Shot stone in the 4-foot is open now. Needed to hit that just a sliver thicker. They touched the second guard, but only just touched it, enough to redirect their own stone onto the one in the 12-foot. Talked about all the options, and I think they've decided to go after the rock in the rings directly because they decided, well, if we ever rub the guard, we might come across, tap our center guard to cover shot rock again, and we'd open it up. She's got a couple of options here. Plan A, though, I don't think there's any doubt. Plan A, come through the port, remove that yellow stone, and then try to roll under cover.
Yeah, try to hit as much as you can see, probably. She's a little bit out there, though.
Yeah, this is going to be really thin.
But had a nice soft weight.
You'd have to kill it, but she does roll out past the guard, leaves the double on the reds. Silvana thinking about, instead of the double, just play the hit and roll, which would just jam the first one. Double and roll to the outside, Ha hits yours, and then if you really want to try to score two, you can still ignore that stone on the outside and come around. That's probably the right way to play this. Carol Howell looking for the double. Gets one, gets two, and we'll roll just a little bit to the outside.
Yeah, nice shot. And of course, the Korean team, knowing what you said or hearing what you just said, want to roll this behind the corner guard, or the center guard, sorry.
Yeah.
Just had a quick look over that men's final. Ryland Kleider leading Bruce Mowat 4-3, and Mowat also blanked the fifth to hold Hammer in 6. So you see these teams really making it a priority to have Hammer in 6 and 8.
Oh, did she roll right into the hole? She did. I took a look at that score as well, and the reason I took a look over is because I saw Alina and Silvana look over, and I'm thinking, what's happening in the men's game? Just left that in the port. Now, which way are you trying to roll here, Jason?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd be tempted to roll this behind your... It's a little bit awkward to get around your corner, actually. It might be just more natural to go around to hit it on the inside and go to the center.
It is straight enough from this outside in. You could roll behind the corner. The danger, I guess, in rolling behind the corner, you make it too good, you force Ha to come around the middle, and if she makes it too good, you don't have your chance for two anymore. How about you hit it right on the nose and let them have the choice? That's probably not what they were looking for.
Yeah, it must have led me to believe, since they were sweeping that, they were trying to go around the corner.
Well, Ha will definitely be trying to roll behind her own center guard, possibly get into a steal position here. You roll full 4, dead buried. There's not going to be a lot of scoring area left, and we're getting late enough in the end, it's hard to do anything about that.
I think you're going to get a little roll here. Enough? No.
Very little roll. Half an inch. It does between the last two shots. It looks to me like it's gotten easier to roll behind the corner, and they're still looking at trying to roll behind the red one. There's air to go the other way. You're edge to edge trying to come to the middle.
Yeah, and sometimes on a shot like this, when you're going through the port, sometimes looking at it from the hack gives you a better perspective than from behind the sheet.
Well, here's the other thing. If you try to roll behind the yellow, even if you over-roll, like roll right into the open past the corner guard, she's going to go after it, and then you're going to be able to play a draw.
Yeah, you can set up the 2 that way, just on a skip's deuce.
Yeah, the critical thing is to just keep the play out of the 4-foot where the house gets small in a hurry. But I do think there's room to roll this, dead buried, and you don't have to whip it. This outside in turn is pretty straight with any extra weight. Sweeping for curl, which unless it's still on the corner guard, I wouldn't be worried about. Yeah, they're still trying to roll behind the red. Four stones left to come here in this sixth end. Nose hit's not bad here for Ha.
You're quite right, because then if Team Tirinzoni, they can't really play a draw around the center because you have this run back.
Yeah, and if they do ever make the perfect hit and roll to the outside, you're playing with a little bit of risk, but you could always just draw around your center guard and maybe get the force that way. Maybe force her to try the angle run in, and if she misses that, it could be a steal. Well, you don't want to roll to the outside on this one, though. You roll to the outside behind the other team's corner guard, and she's drawing for sure.
Yeah, they were thinking about rolling to the outside. I'm not sure if that's what they actually were calling or not, but I agree with you. I wouldn't have tried to roll to the outside. Now you just ignore it.
You could.
The only other thing you could play is
hit that roll behind the corner, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be a little bit more conservative than a hidden roll.
Then you're letting Ha get the first chance to make the draw. Scary thing about this draw is you're coming around a red stone, though, and if you make it perfect, they're going to play the run back straight back. And I think most of these teams at this level, you just expect your opposition to make that shot. She's at least going to make contact, and you could be forced. But if she stuffs it dead behind cover, you could have a very difficult shot to score here. Where's perfect here, Jason? Full 4 foot?
Yeah, I think maybe just fighting the 4 is good. Yeah, because if you want to protect against that straight run backs and guarding it, if you want to leave a little bit more room to draw to, then they're only in the 8 foot once they make that run back. Then you'll have the full 4 to draw to.
This has got a lot of line and a lot of weight. Through the 4 foot, through the 8 foot. Is it going to stop in time to be shot rock at least? No, that will slide all the way to the back 12. Does hang on for a bite, but it gives Ha the chance to try to come around and maybe even set up the steal. You could get a corner of the button buried here. Would not leave a lot of real estate for Alina Petz.
Oh, absolutely. Now, is a double possible? Can they actually make a double off that red stone? Is there enough space?
I don't think so.
I think it'd be pretty scary to take it on.
Yeah, it would be. Like, you don't really want to give up a steal here in the 6th end. Mind you, if you make the draw good enough, especially after she was just all the way to the back 12, having to draw to the pins, no gimme either.
Yeah, the Tirinzoni team not only didn't have the weight on that shot, they really didn't have the correct line, because that rock is still wide open and it got all the way to the back 12.
Mm-hmm. Seungyoun Ha with her final stone here in the 6th end, already sitting one on the edge. A chance to bury one near the button and at the very least get the force, possibly even steal a point here. This all-important 6th end of a tie game. She's got lots of room as well. Boy, look at just about put the blinkers on there, made a big move. How can they still get it into the forefoot?
Yes, they can.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Tough to hit that. And if you're going to have to draw by it, that means you got to go a little bit wider. She's in a different path than the one she just threw, and she was heavy on the last one.
Although it actually might be the similar path as she just threw.
Well, it needs to end up on a similar path to what she just threw for sure, but I think that's more broom than they took.
She definitely took more broom, so I just wonder whether she got the first one out a little bit.
Pressure's just cleaning, picking it up a little bit more. Now picking it up a little bit more still.
Line looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks good. It is really moving. They do have to get it by that red stone. Now, do they have enough weight to pull it into that button area? Oh.
Just.
Yes. Alina Betts with a nice draw on her final stone. Picks up the single point. They'll keep the 1-point lead, surrender the hammer, and it'll be Seungyoun Ha with the hammer in number 7 of this women's final. The RBC Dominion Western Showdown.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Never more than a point separating these teams through 6 ends. It's 1 point difference right now with Tirinzoni in the lead. Ha has last rock, and we've got some guards up to start this 7th end. The center guard thrown there on purpose. That come around attempt comes up short. That was not on purpose. Selena Vichonki coming around the out-turn side, buries around her own center guard right on the top of the forefoot.
Yeah, she's done a good job with that all game.
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying just an end or two ago, early on in the ends, most ends, it has been Tirinzoni in good shape. In good shape again here. The come around attempt on Sujin Kim's first shot coming up short certainly doesn't help. The in-turn side kind of closed off right now, but she's got the out-turn chase, trying to get to the face of the stone that was just thrown. and she's going to bounce off. That's happened a couple of times already, too. The red one is shot rock. Silvana doesn't necessarily have to hit it. She could freeze the pocket. Freeze straight to the yellow, too. Yeah.
Yeah, if that red stone had chapped off just a little bit more, she would have played the hidden roll onto the button, but she can't get inside here. Her own stone will be blocking that roll.
I have to admit, I like the draw.
I do too.
She doesn't want to see a blank end here very bad. You throw the draw, and Ha's got a lot of work to do to clean things up because they actually threw their own center guard, not on purpose again, but they're going to play the hit and roll to the corner, though, so she's thinking force here by the looks of it. Going to play this shot. You got to make sure you roll. And they will. I think you're trying to hit the red thin, catch the back end of the yellow, and hope, right? There's a chance it's coming straight back.
Yeah, for sure. And even if they open it up, they can get rid of both guards, then you do have a double on those yellow stones, so Silvana will have to deal with that.
Well, if there's nothing red left out front, Silvana will be happy to just throw guard after guard after guard now.
Yeah, she'll have to make all of the guards.
It's one of those situations where she won't even have to change gears at any point. She can throw a guard right through to the last stone if these two guards disappear and it doesn't disturb anything in the rings. Going to have the thin hit on the first one. It's going to catch the second one. It does come straight back and will kill a shot stone off the top of the 4-foot. Spins over to the 8-foot on the opposite side. We'll spread the house out a bit. Nice shot and one more look at it.
Yeah, great shot. Of course, it would have been even better if that runner or that red guard that was coming in didn't roll so far to the other side of the house, because Silvana can now split the rings.
That's a good view of just what the gear effect does, though, because that rock coming back did hit that fairly solid, but it was spinning so hard that off the contact, it kicks out into the 8-foot.
Yeah, and that spin was imparted when it caught thinly off the back of the other guard.
Mm-hmm. So now Silvana Tirinzoni will try to keep the house split, get the force. Seungyoun Ha will try to get the yellows closer together, see if she can't get a double and get back to a blank. The strategy simple, the execution a little harder. This is close. Boy, they have done a good job at making those long rolls to group yellow stones in this game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Silvana looking to roll back to the other side, and now she's going to try to roll a little flatter. So playing the out turn, come off of it a little flatter, and with that broom, I would say she's probably going to throw a little bit more weight. Not whipping it by any means, but you throw it quieter, you roll deeper. Well, you throw it quieter, you hit it thinner, roll deeper. That was not the weight I was expecting her to throw. I don't know if she's sticking around.
Might just hang on, maybe.
Yeah, it did roll quite a bit deeper, though. Like, Half a rock's close. You can certainly get them grouped. Half a rock's probably a little thin. We're probably 2/3.
Yeah, a little bit thicker than that, I think.
Yeah.
Be happy to just roll it over right now.
Yep. They jumped this right out of her hand. Might have been a little bit inside. Are they able to hold it? Well, she's going to get half,
Yeah,
and
thin,
half was a little too thin. Just discussing where they want to put this. Savannah's first thought was to keep it in front of the tee line. Yes, they're going to have the chance for the long roll, but you know they're not going to play the freeze. If you come behind the tee line here and it doesn't look like she's going to have a chance for the blank, Hull will play a freeze. I'm not 100% sure what they settled on here.
Yeah, neither am I. I mean, your analysis is completely correct there. It's one of those situations where if you make the shot too good, perfectly even with the other one, you're right. The other team might change gears, or probably will change gears and play the free. If you leave it not quite as good, then they might not do that. So
they try that hit and roll across that they've made on you too many times already this game. Well, this has gone to plan B now. They realize they're high, so they're trying to be real high. Just bite the rings, leave the double really thin.
Yeah, that's good communication by this team to put that there. They knew it out of their hand, and Silvana said, right up here, top 12 then.
Doubles there, but it's really thin. You're flirting with not hitting the second rock at all. Actually, you're flirting with not hitting the first one. Sweeping for curl, that can't be a good sign. She got a piece.
Enough.
You would have bet you couldn't roll under that one. Split the house one more time. Alina Pets this time. I'm still not sure where they've decided is the ideal spot for it. Deeper than the last one.
That I agree with. But I also am with you there in terms of not exactly knowing whether they're going for the tee line or going for even with that other yellow stone that's in the back of the rings. There you can see Silvana pointing at where she wants it.
They opted to try to get it even, and so now the freeze has to be made. You got no blank any other way. You play the freeze, you hope that Pets blasts it out and rolls out. Then you've got the blank opportunity. The problem with that is if you weld it on so good that she doesn't think she can blast it out, she probably throws a hack weight or hits it right on the nose.
Yeah, instead right on top. You do have to make sure you're still shot rock after this, so you have to freeze it slightly on the inside.
Yeah, true. inside brusher was down right away. Now both of them working on it.
It's moving quite a bit off the center line now. And they hold the line.
They did. Okay. They overswept it. She bumps it and rolls open enough that a nose hit will clear it. Even if you roll out on this, you've got the force you were looking for.
Yeah, there's no double if you just roll out.
Yeah.
So the way to miss it is on the high side. Don't go low and kill your yellow one at the back.
Actually, might be nice to hit and roll just in front of your own stone. And
yeah.
I say that only because then she's not as likely to try to hit it. If she jams it, it could be a steal. And when she draws, she's likely either getting one or giving up three because there's no in between.
Yeah, that half stone or one stone roll to the left as we see it on the overhead.
They tried to get a piece of the 4 foot. They do get a little nibble of it, enough that it's going to, I think, mean that Ha will play the hit, but she's got room to roll a little bit to the outside, a lot if she crosses it a hair. Nose hit will do it. Final stone of the 7th end. Facing 3, trailing by 1, just needs the nose hit. Doesn't have a lot of room to roll to the outside. As long as she gets at least to the nose, she's got a lot of room to go the other way. Both brushers down, though. There's not a lot of weight. Are they going to be able to hold the line? She's crossed the face. She'll get the hit. Now, how far does it roll? She will hang on to the back of the 4 foot on the other side. That's enough for the single point. 7 ends has decided absolutely nothing here in this women's final. Silvana Tirinzoni had the last rock in a tie game when we started. She'll have the last rock in a tie game when we come back for the 8th end.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Eighth and most likely final end underway here in the women's final. We're all tied up coming home. The center guard went up first. Selena Vijonki looking to come around now with her first stone. Sean Joyce and Jason Chang on the call here. Connor Sims on production for us. Stay tuned after the game as we will take you to the final of the Moose Jaw Doubles Super Series. That stone not able to get dead in behind cover, but it kind of chokes off that out-turn side, so... Oh no, they're not coming around. Throwing the second guard. They need the steal here. Thought they might come in, if only because the first guard's kind of a halfway, and it's tough to get separation. Nice job on that second guard, though. She's got it nice and high. Did get it back to the center line, so no tick shots available.
Yeah, those shots aren't that easy. I mean, we covered a couple where they missed that high guard and hogged it.
Yeah. Well, and made harder because the first guard's probably not quite as tight as they would have liked. I'd like to get it inside that logo, and then you got more space to separate those two. Jockey probably wants to get to the nose or just slightly on the outside of her own. Has it angled to the button. That's a pretty good spot. So Ha will have to look to move the yellows now. Doesn't need to kill him. Just needs to wiggle things around and give herself some room. She knows that after this stone, Tirinzoni likely to start peeling. I don't know. Will she go for the double peel or does she just peel the tight one?
Yeah, you might see her just peel the tight one based on where these stones end up.
Yeah, the long one's not much good by itself, and you can see the tight one.
But first things first here, Team Ha, they do need to rearrange some of the furniture in the house right now. Try to get a bit of a better angle for themselves.
Just create some room to get into the button. She'd like to be able to get there from either turn. Could get there from the in turn right now, but the double tap is there. She needs to take that away as well. That's better. She's still got something on the in turn side. She's got something on the in turn side. The out turn side's still not looking very good, but it probably means the double peel's coming. Carol Howell gets the top one. Just by the second one. Misses everything in the rings as well. Shooter will roll well off to the corner. Thrower's choice here almost. You could throw the second guard or you could come into that yellow stone now. The danger in throwing the second guard again, that first one's a little high, and if you get them too close together, it makes the double too easy.
Yeah, test your nerve if you try to flirt with this hog line.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing, right?
Yeah, it is. They're playing the high guard. It's a really high guard. But they got it over.
Nicely done.
You couldn't make it any better than that.
Yeah, perfectly lined up, those two yellows. Or those two red guards, sorry.
Yeah, and if I was Silvana, I would have gone to look at the back end of that rock and make sure it was over, but she's going to take their word for it. That's what you call maximum separation right there. You spread those two guards out anymore, and the one you just threw would have been in the back corner because it was hogged. Can you do it again? We are into third stones now, different thrower. Again, there's nothing wrong with coming onto the yellow in the rings. You make the freeze to that stone at the back of the button, let them peel the guard, and then you're guarding for the rest of the end. You're okay with that too. Don't even have to come down to the other one. You could be dead around the guard as long as you're shot rock.
Yep, absolutely.
That looks like the guard again.
Yes.
This looks to me like a little bit more weight. It's already curling more too.
Yeah, it is furling a bit.
Lever angle, that makes the double peel opportunity a little bit easier. It also means you could just peel the tight one.
I'd be tempted to just peel the tight one right now. That's what they've gone to.
Yeah, that guard over curled for sure. That much on the other side of the center line still protects something good for you. On this side of the center line, hard to imagine. Like, your next guard is going to have to come behind that. You're only going to be protecting maybe a third of the button. Not quite half anyway. You have to try to line up the guards here, I think.
I think so.
She's coming in. I don't like this call.
I think you need one more guard.
Yeah, and right there is good. Right where she just was talking about. I'm not sure I understand the urgency they feel in coming in now.
I agree with you, Sean. I think one more guard here is the prudent play. We have seen throughout this game, though, the Korean team seems to try to make the move one rock or a couple rocks earlier than we would suggest.
Mm-hmm. She's not light here. Can she come off the yellow and make it that way? Maybe.
Yeah, they caught the audible there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's better, though. Like,
No.
it's there's still room for Tirinzoni to come down, move it, sit on the edge of the forefoot herself. I don't think you want to roll right out with your yellow one here. Boy, they're talking about trying to hit it on the nose. Great result if you make it. Risky, though. You roll 3-4 inches to the outside. You actually make it easier for Seungyoun Ha.
I like what they've called. I like rolling
I do too.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, but staying in the forefoot. Like, if everything from here on in goes drastically wrong, you've still got it to come off of for your win. If you roll just to the very edge of the button, she's still got to get white paint under her rock. And hard to be buried biting the button right now because of the guard is so long and the two rocks in the 8-foot kind of make it hard to get dead buried.
Pretty close to what they're going for.
Yeah, under-rolled a little bit.
Yeah, why don't you roll just a hair more?
Gives Ha the chance to chisel in underneath the red-yellow combination. She doesn't want to be dead behind it. Maybe half in behind those two. Have to wait till Yang moves out of the way. I don't think you can see all of that red stone in the 8-foot behind the long guard.
You can see most of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, so if you're a piece underneath those, yeah, maybe only half.
It is a long guard, though.
Yeah, true. But is she really going to try a finesse shot? Like, I don't think she can get to the nose. Well, maybe. Can she get to the nose of the red if she had to move the yellow straight back?
Delicate, but probably there. I agree with you. I don't think you want to roll all the way over.
But if you're half in behind there and she tries that, if she's a little thin on the red, she might drive the yellow by, and now you're guarding. I think if you're half behind those two, she's got to try to chase it, and that's going to be tough too. She rolls half behind those. Do you ever peel the guard?
Well, you certainly could.
She can't guard the shot rock and the run back, right?
Correct.
So then what do? Do you have to come in and try to freeze to your own? I guess it just depends on exactly where this stops. They certainly have set things up for an interesting final end here.
Yeah, we've gone through a few scenarios, but let's see what happens here with this stone.
Line's looking pretty nice coming in. If this might overcurl on her.
I think it's going to overcurl.
Does she roll too far? Well, she's not shot rock, and the run back is definitely coming towards the red right now. Where's my telestrator?
Yeah, where's the perfect spot to put this? I was thinking what maybe was that Alina just pointed out. Just slightly biased on the left-hand side of the center line from the overhead.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking the other side. If you get to where they just tap the ice, she comes off the stone at the back of the button and rolls in behind that. If you're that far on the other side, what does she do? She probably has to play the double, but then the red-yellow is going straight back into the red. Like, can she draw to beat that if you... Yeah, right there. I like that.
Yeah.
Geared towards on the covering a piece of your own yellow so she can't come down to it. Keep in mind that the long guard that we can't see, so if you look at it from the front of the house, if you get a sliver of that rock across the center line, it's hard for her to get across the face. Where's my telestrator? I'm drawing the picture right there. Even that's pretty good, but I would want it a couple inches closer to the center line. Don't give her the port to draw through. If you're just touching the center line, she's got no draw port, right?
You're right. If you can get right to the center line, there shouldn't be a draw.
And maybe nibble the 4-foot or even to full 4-foot, you're fine. Then she has to probably blast the double is all she's going to have.
Try to blast the double. And that's why I think you want to get across the center a little bit so that double really is really tough, right? Like, if you leave it open, you might be able to just catch it thin enough, not catch that red one at the back. Maybe sit 1 and 2.
Well,
you can just hit it on the
double's
nose.
Tough. You almost have to make the triple because when that yellow jams at the back, I'm not sure that it's not still shot rock.
I think you would hit the yellow stone.
I want a guard.
Not that high.
I don't think I want to freeze my own either, because then she's going to play the hit and roll into her own. where she's got the broom right now, and she's not talking about where to put it. She's just happened to have the broom sitting there, but that line, but I think 2 feet higher, 1.5 feet higher. I'll give her the double because I'm not sure that it even gets her shot rock. They're going to peel the guard. This isn't horrible. You're already shot. Where does she put this without a guard?
Yeah, if they play the freeze, you have the pin. So you almost have to play it in the top of the form across the center line. Or sorry, top of the button across the center line. Half in the button, maybe.
Makes the peel, turns around and says, okay, what could you do here? Well, where they tap the ice the first time won't work because you won't be shot rock. You got to bite the button here.
Yep.
You have to be really careful trying to come around the red-yellow because you're not going to bury it very far. You have to be shot rock, and the red-yellow comes straight back. So you could pick it, you know, a rock that's just a sliver behind it. You hit red onto yellow, and it just picks it off the top. And what they're talking about there is right now, if she had to, she could play red onto yellow, onto the red just behind the tee line and bounce to the back of the button. So they're worried about taking that away as well. You probably have to get corner frozen to your own if you can. And then I don't think it's leaving. You know, it shoots across into the yellow. And it's like you said, Jason, she's always going to have the pin. Might be able to come right down to her own stone as well. But that's what I'm seeing. Corner freeze your own.
Yeah, right.
The red won't go anywhere.
Yep, right there. Leave the pin.
Yeah, it leaves the pin. It might leave it where she can come down to her own, but I mean, you got no guards. You can't take everything away.
Yeah, I think the best two spots are either corner frozen or biting the top of the button kind of in that same line. That would be the corner freeze. So is that any good? Slightly on the other side.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I don't think they think so either. They keep talking about that red onto yellow onto the red, and then it bounces into the back of the button. So, and I think I agree with them. It does look like that's too easy. So they have to get something underneath that a little bit to take it away. Still got a lot of room. It'll move a little bit more gradual on this side, but when it crosses that center line, it'll start to go hard. The line's really close.
You need to be on the button to be shot stone, and they will be.
Yeah, I couldn't have walked that down any better. That is absolutely as tough as they could have made this shot. Pets is looking at, can they come down to their own stone? And maybe if she's just on the right corner, on the left side corner of it.
On that inside corner, yes, I think you will be shot stone as well.
Right to the nose is debatable. You could chisel off the one that was just thrown too, but now you're talking about quite a bit different line, whether you're trying to come to the yellow or come to the red.
Correct. I think the
kind of
draw,
have to pick one.
Yeah, I think the draw to the pin and maybe coming to the yellow stone on the inside corner might be about the same line. If you're a little bit heavy, you're on the inside with that back one.
Okay,
and
yeah, I see what you mean.
Pin weight, you've got the pin.
Well, with as good as this game has been, I'm calling for a measure right here. I want. It's only fitting that they should have to measure this stone. It's on its way. Pressure's picked this one up a little bit early. Needs to split the tee line. The line will be fine if she gets to the tee line.
The line looks great.
They're worried about making a curl. I don't think they have to worry about making a curl. They need to worry about the weight, and they might be a little strong on this.
They're on that back one. And they got it.
They do. Silvana Tirinzoni with Alina Pets throwing the final stones. A nice draw with the last one. They played that to the back one all the way. If she doesn't hit the back one, she's through. Sweeping for that last little bit of curl. She needs to get just ever so slightly to the inside. And right at the last bit, you can see it curl that last 2 inches. She gets to the inside corner on her own. They pick up the single point in a game with no deuces. They will pick up the 4-3 win, and they are the champions for 2025 of the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown here in Swift Current. We want to thank you for joining us all weekend long for all of this exciting curling action. We'll be back on the air on Tuesday for the Tier 2 Grand Slam. On behalf of myself, Sean Joyce, Jason Chang, my partner today, Connor Sims on production. That's a wrap for us here in Swift Current, but after the break, you'll be headed to Moose Jaw for the final of the Mixed Doubles Super Series.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Well, just before we head to Moose Jaw, an opportunity to see the awards presentations. Bruce Mowat picking up the win in the men's side. He'll wait his turn as Silvana Tirinzoni getting the picture taken with the giant check. Everybody likes the giant check.
Yeah, and Bruce stole that 8th end. Ryan Kleider had last stone. Could not score. Bruce Mowat stealing the 8th end to win.
It's a strong event for this Tirinzoni team. They went through undefeated. That sets them up well going into the Slam next week. And, of course, perhaps they can carry that through to the Olympics in a little over a month's time. Alina Pets, Silvana Tirinzoni, Carol Howell, and Selena Vichonki, your champions here. The RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown on the women's side. And just for good measure, on the men's side, Bruce Mowat picking up the win. As Jason said, stealing the win in the 8th end. Get Skip Bruce Mowat, 3rd Grant Hardy, Bobby Lammy the 2nd, and lead Hammy McMillan Jr. And again, with the giant check And the sponsors, of course. Thank you very much for RBC Dominion Securities sponsoring these events and all of the events we've seen all year long. You can't make these events go without the generous donation of the sponsors and the volunteers. One more picture with their own camera now. And that now will be a wrap here for Curling Stadium in Swift Current for 2025. We want to thank you again for joining us. And once again, we'll be throwing you now to the finals of the Moose Jaw Mixed Double Super Series.